back. Sorry, I had obviously a Windows update, and it wanted me to upgrade to Windows 11, and then all kind of crap happened, and yeah, not happy about it. All right, thanks. Sorry for that little delay. Looks like we're getting back on track now. All right. All right. I think we are back, and now my little program. Yes, we're back to normal operation. Finally. Okay, everyone can see me and hear me. Yeah, everything seems to be in order. All right, so let's do. Is everyone back? I don't know if people are still here, but hopefully. So let's do one mouse giveaway. This one on my screen. I heard it's good. I don't have one myself, but I heard it's good. So let's start this, and I'm gonna give you a quick before they're all back. Indeed, another one. Should we do explanation mark? Let's keep it easy. Explanation mark mouse, shall we? Like that. Try it, guys. Yes, it is working. You're getting into the lists. Awesome. Now let's give it a few minutes and see if we're ready to pull it. All right. All good. All right, so let's give it a few minutes. I can show the roadmap while we wait. If you have any other question regarding the roadmap or anything at all, while we give this a moment. So yeah, for me and the team, it feels really great to be back on roadmap content. So, obviously that is what wanna push us forward and bring in more interest and excitement into the game. So it's long overdue, I think, but again, necessary work on the back end. No, there's, or is there? The priest. No, I think that is with. Yeah, I think the priest comes with the TC content, but I'm not 100% sure what we decided on the priests, but I think so. Where does the mounted archer head buff fit on roadmap? Yeah, so that is one of those things also that we didn't put it on roadmap. It's more of a fix as it should be working balance wise. So you can also expect that one to go into one of the upcoming patches. I'm not sure where exactly, but we intend to add the head bobbing, which is important for balance. Will the house function remove plants from my house? No. So do you mean that there are plants under the house that is sticking through the floor or something like that? Depending on those situations, you can contact support, show the case if it's something that we need to tend to when it comes to the placement rules of what goes through and so on. So we would have to look at the specific iteration to know what we may need to do. When is Koto being disbanded? You have to ask Koto about that. Can you iterate on the flagging and bounty system? So yeah, we discussed about what entails in that patch, which is end of April. There's some big important pieces going into the game that will give a better control for players, how they want to participate in the different conflicts, I would say. So one is the bounty system, which is a really cool Star Wars Galaxy inspired system that was awesome in that game. I enjoyed it very much, and I think we can have it working in a similar way in Mortal Online. So that is what is going in there. You can pretty much sign up and work as a bounty and progress as a bounty hunter, getting new titles and access and different tools eventually. We start out with quite some basic tools. It's like the tracker tools for the bounty hunters to find those murders with a bounty on their head. And they have the killing rights to kill them at any place, including in cities, which, cities will not allow war conflicts happening in their nations, in their cities. The only thing that would be allowed in a city is a bounty hunter doing his business with kill rights, a duel, and guild duels. That's it. Can you explain guard vendor command? Yes. So if any of you guys played Ultima Online, you know exactly what this means. What it means is that instead of having to brute force your way near the bank or NPCs, when that can be easily crowded and blocked by both mounts and players, we adding a function where you can say bank. You simply speak bank in the game, and there's a distance check. If you're nearby the banker, it will give you the bank interface. You can access them much easier rather than having to stand in there and getting stuck. And the guard function is that you can actually call a guard. If you see a crime, you can call a guard and there will be coming a guard running to assist you, as long as you don't abuse the guard call function, then they may turn on you. But if you do call them in a reasonable, for a reasonable reason, they will act on that criminal that you may see if it's within scream command and in a guard zone, that is. Same thing goes for when you access a vendor. If you say vendor buy near a vendor, you'll get the buy interface from that vendor. So again, to help crowded locations where this may be an issue. I mean, we've done several patches where we have expanded banks, opening several entrances, adding a second bank, and then adding another NPC outside. It's just more and more work, and it's not, it's helping every time, but I think that these functions can simply help it a lot more for everyone. So you can pretty much access the bank from outside the bank, as long as it's in a reasonable distance. Okay, how many have we signed up so far for the mouse giveaway? Not that many, actually. I think we lost quite a few people when I reboot the computer, right? Still coming in, but we lost a few hundred, so your chances have gone up, guys. We'll be able to macro modes in the future. Yes, we're looking at some options where we can add macros and possible a radial menu where you can quickly access different emotes, yells, etc. So exclamation mark mouse, plain and simple. And you have a shot at this mouse in the background. That is a Logitech mouse. It's quite expensive, I think. So it's supposed to be a very good gaming mouse. Found a bug. Please report that bug in the game or to any of our GMs, and we will get that under the right procedure to look into it and fix any possible bug it may be. There aren't true players if they left anyway. Indeed. Can you defend yourself from a bounty hunter? Yes, you can self-defense. Yes. Can you explain trinkets? Yeah, bit slap. So trinkets is a very exciting feature. It's a huge feature and every player can enjoy it because it has some very specific rules. One is, as long as you have put them on your finger or the amulet on your neck, they will be soul bound to your character. You can still trade them and put them in bank or wherever you want. But what I mean with the soul bound is that the trinkets will choose you as the bearer currently. And they will have up to 3 charges. Every time you die wearing them, charges gets removed. So you can still wear them with 0 charges, but they won't have any magical impact on your character. And you can refill these charges with gold. So there's a natural gold link to this system. And as long as there's an active charge on your trinkets, it will have different powers to your character. So this allows you to expand further your character builds. Rings have different types of bonuses. One of them is that it gives a stat bonus. Amulets have skill bonuses. So this means there's a lot of combinations you can find. Obviously, there's so many skills that there's millions of combinations eventually. If you have those trinkets in your inventory and you die, someone can loot them. So the rule is, as long as you wear them, they can't be dropped on death. And there will be 5 tiers from tier 1 to tier 5. They cost more the greater the level to reload. And obviously they also have a little bit more power that gives to your character. So it was a really high success, very good system in the first game. And this time we just refine it a little bit. And obviously there's most likely going to be a market for trinkets as well, so you can find the specific needs you may need. So yeah, that's trinkets. Trade respec come at a cost as well. So we don't really want players to change their clades on the go at any second as you could in the beta, because that completely changes your build, and it's also a little bit cheating if you want to now in this situation I just quickly re-roll them into this. We want that to be more of a commitment. You get the experience and you put them into the clades, and then if you think I'm not happy with this, I want to change it, then sure, you can visit or pay. There's a gold fee to remove clade gifts. And there's a small loss as well when you do it, but you can very quickly get that back and re-choose your clays how you want. Can we attack non-rare without going crim? So that is the purpose of being a bounty hunter. You need to have rights to attack a player. You can attack a red and kill him and he can't place a murder count on you, but it's still a crime in front of the guards because all of a sudden one person is trying to kill another person. That's how the guards are witnessing that. But if you work as a bounty hunter, you will have kill rights and know what kind of hunted players you may be able to kill with rights. So the guards may be there, but you have the killing rights to show them to kind of secure the action without becoming a criminal. Criminal attack for attacking a murder. Star Wars logic. But are we doing real life logic then? Yes. You know, you're not allowed to kill anyone you see, even though he's a murderer. That's why we have law and order in the world, the Rage Master. I don't know where you live, but this is the world in general, laws. And again, we try to follow some logic where it makes sense. And it does in that area. Like I said, the bounty hunting system will give you special rights, you know, pretty much like rights to kill, you know, James Bond. Yeah, exactly, Rana. You mean like real life? Yeah, Star Vault logic is similar to real life, and that's what we have said since day one, since we started on Mortal 9. So yeah, it makes sense. How do legendary weapon work? So that is there will be rare components to find in the world, spread out in the world, that you can, a Grandmaster can use when crafting weapons. And if you use these components, you will apply unique look to that weapon. And eventually also the armors, as you can see. And then there will be more of these types over time. It takes quite a time to create every single effects applied to these pieces of weapon and armor, but it looks really cool and make you, you know, be able to craft unique looking weapons and armors. In real life, cops don't stare at murderers walking around and do nothing. I mean, do you think in real life a murderer have a note on the forehead saying, I'm a murderer, so when a cop see that note, they act? Come on, man, come on. We try to follow some logic, and yeah, that is logic. There is sadly murderers in the world that simply doesn't walk around with a note on the forehead, and yeah, they walk straight past police, sadly. And even so more when we were in a more non-evolved world with sophisticated systems in the world to identify crime, you know, DNA and such. But in the past, it was very much harder to find and take murders, the Rage Master. How's DC construction more than 2 months out when it voted first in the poll? Where's the logic? If you hear my response to that early on in the stream, you will know why. So you know it's a puzzle, and we have been working on these huge systems. So some systems require a lot of different developers. So that is in short why we can't just put it in an order that breaks the logical order of development, but we use the interest of the player base to try to put those as early as it's possible within the development team. So, you know, that's again logic we're following. Hey Henrik, I'm having a blast as a spiritist so far. That's the logic he's following. You just don't agree with it because it goes against your narrative. Yeah, again, you know, everything is different opinions. What some people think is, you know, good looking, beautiful, good graphics or whatever, some other may think is ugly or not good looking. It's just how the world is. Same thing goes, I like this sport, someone else may hate that sport. And of course, that is also applied in Mortal Online, right? All these different features, you may love some but hate some. That's just how it is. But that is the beauty of a true sandbox MMORPG. We have so much to offer, especially over time, that there will be something for everyone. The question is, in what area we're talking about. Let's do the mouse, guys. We have a few things to hand out. So let's do the first giveaway of the mouse. Let me highlight. So this is the mouse we're going to give away. All right, now more people is showing up writing the command, so give it just a little bit more than, and then we will pull the first raffle. How will the bird tell you where the murder is? Stars gave waypoints. Yeah, so obviously we can't send out the droids scouting and coming back using high tech. So our approach is obviously using a trained falcon or something like that. Obviously there could be some magical components involved. Obviously that can be explained in a more lore in-game way. When we deliver that, I'm just, explaining the idea behind it, and then final names and numbers will obviously come along with that patch. So imagine you have a trained scout bird creature that you send out, pretty much like a dog. You have the smell and you send him out on a mission, finding a murder in real life again, using a hound. So we will kind of use that kind of function to apply our logic to track down someone, and that is trained to give you a direction. No, does not give you more chances to type exclamation mark a second time. One time is enough and you're in the list. All right, let's pull the first one now. Let's roll it. We have enough people in the list now. So let me start it. Okay, guys, good luck. Here goes the first mouse giveaway. Starts now. Here it is. Good luck. Good luck, guys. And boom! Congratulations, accidental potato. I butchered your name, but congratulations. Accidental. Wait 1 second. Accidental potato. That's it. Accidental potato. Are you in here? Congratulations. You won a awesome Logitech gaming mouse. Please send me a PM in here so we can get your information and get that mouse shipped. Accidental potato. Are you in here, my friend? There you are. One. Accidental potato one. The first mouse. So I'm gonna just hand over a message here so we can get that covered. Damn potatoes taking our mice. All right, we got one more mouse done. All right. We have 2 more to go. So this time I'm clearing the list, guys. One moment. I'm gonna clear it and we're gonna have this time it is explanation mark Logitech, like so. Second mouse, explanation mark Logitech, and you will participate in the next round of having a chance of awesome gaming mouse. Gonna give it a 5-6 minutes and then we pull it. This is the mouse again. G903 Lightspeed. Lightspeed of warp. I think you can even disconnect the mouse cable. I don't know. I don't know if it's wireless as well. Why would you be able to disconnect it? Is it? Yeah, it is. It is. Awesome. Shit, I want one of those myself, guys. I wanted to try a wireless mouse because sometimes it's so nice to don't have the cable connected. So this is a wireless awesome gaming mouse and you can connect the mouse as well very efficiently. So you have 2 functions in one. I like how interrelated the skills in Model 2 are. Does Spiritism connect into anything in the roadmap? It's not mentioned specifically anywhere. So Spiritism is actually an important component for a necromancer because the necromancer uses spirits in a lot of their magical components. So, you know, if you're only a necromancer and not a spiritist as well, you may want to have a spiritist friend or a market trade with a spiritist so you can get a good supply of spirits. So, you know, there are some connection in a few different ways. And also depending on the schools, there may also be skill connection where you may be able to do certain things and have certain bonuses if you also have skills that relate to that magic or schools, or in this case we're looking into some bonuses for rituals. Thank God I'm a spiritist spirit walker and was gonna keep it for my necro. That is a good mix. That is a good mix. Obviously you can do both schools on your one character and that will be even more efficient to harvest your own spirits. Henrik should show some numbers of how many spell Logitech incorrectly after it's done. Yeah, it's tricky, right? Have we many missed typos of the Logitech? A giveaway. I saw someone wrote something strange, but look carefully of the one above you, make sure it's correct. And you also see it on my screen if you don't know, if you're not sure. Logitech. As a human, I can go for schools, yay. Yeah, and you know, with the trinkets, you may go even further. And depending on obviously the different schools, there will be different rules and, you know, requirements. So the trinkets will be another key to push a little bit further towards your build's need. And then obviously the second step is the veteran system. Say Smokey, Sarka when? As soon as it's done. I can't give a better estimation than that at this point, I think. Let's see how many we got so far. Oh, we're getting there. So necromancy is out of reach too. Thanks a lot. No, that's not what I said. You, as I said, you can either be the spiritist, just as someone else said up here, or you can trade with them. So, no, not at all. And like I said, with veteran and trinkets, you may do even more than that. I think it's important to, you know, give it a moment, give it some time before you draw conclusions that can be completely wrong, and also because it's too early to draw the right conclusions, right? Just by discussing some things or reading something, I understand it can be easy to draw the conclusion based on that very early information, but it just you know, put unnecessary stress on your own conclusions. So I think it's good and fair to give you some moment to mature and explore it correctly before you may give some valuable feedback that something may be off or not. We obviously try to make use of our 15, 16 years of experience in this field, and also obviously use the data based on the 10 years of running those functions in the first game. So I hope we get some faith and trust that we do it as good as we can. You know that many players are rage quit after being PK'd all the time, or are planning to open an easier server? No, we don't plan to add specific server rules that could remove vital core pieces of the game, but what is important to see here that is gonna happen in the coming year is that along with a growing world, more hotspots, interest points that may attract a lot of PvP players, murders, bounty system that have specific rules, all of a sudden these players that may just barely be bored and walk around casually killing people left and right, and those getting a bad experience, obviously that would change when these players get something more exciting and fun to engage in terms of PvP. And that means those innocent noobs won't be a target by those players that are simply in a different location having more fun and enjoyable PvP in a more meaningful way. So that is a combination that will happen along with the growing world, and these function that we actually have on roadmap now is going into the game, you know, over time. So I will hope that those that have rage quit for being PK'd all the time, you know, try to have an open mind that if you're constantly being killed outside of Faberno, for instance, because there may be a lot of action going on there and there may be murders quite frequently, try a new city. Try Meduli, try Bhakti, try Tinrem, and see how your entire gaming experience changes instantly by living in a different location in the world. That is one of my biggest suggestions at this point. And then, you know, if that's nothing of your interest, then I'll again suggest to try it again when these systems are in place. That is the flagging system, the bounty system in place, and see how that may affect your gameplay style. That is what I hope that, you know, many people will consider. There may be more than one bounty hunter on the same target, yes. because, you know, a mirror may also not be alone. So, yeah. Magical means of tracking. Also, how about a mage light? Do you mean a light source? If so, then yes, there will be a few different light sources for mages. Elementalism have one light source spell. Staff magic have one. There will be more and more of the time with both some tools and functions, but also along with some of the magic schools. Yeah, we're looking at around 10 experience, around that number. So we're not looking to force everyone to retrain the whole experience for a clay level. But again, we want you to consider the changes and not change them on the fly. It's important part of the balance and the clay balance as well. Will there be a regional pricing for subs? That is the plan, yes. Please explain how pet skill points relate to necromancy minions. So there is the obvious requirement to engage with necromancy spells and rituals is the necromancy school skill that you have to master or progress in to certain levels to do this different types of spells. And then there's the connection with there's one skill specifically to raise the dead, and then we're looking at certain possible bonuses tied to some of their Sulgi skills as well. But this is the last step that me and Mats is looking at right now. The exact rules behind how to raise specific minions. So this is not the first category, as I mentioned before. There's a summon minions, which is the walker type, which is a quite straightforward spell-like function. But this is the rituals that I'm talking about. That is the latest step, the last step for Necromancer to kind of build your very specific pets, and that you build those with a ritual component. So you will actually create a ritual paintings on the ground, and in this you will be able to place a carcass, different types of carcass, and some items that will give a special effect on this creature that you raise. So it's a cool school, and rituals is gonna be cool because again you'll be able to raise all the creatures will have a summer version pretty much. So if a white bear have been killed, you can take that carcass and raise it again, and that would be the Walking Dead white bear, which could be missing an eye or having a big hole in the body, and yeah, you know, the walkers in Game of Thrones pretty much. It was really cool, that dragon and giant that became a walker, right? That is our vision when it comes to transforming them. Really cool. Shall we pull the second mouse, guys? I think we're getting ready. We have quite an amount. The Logitech mouse. I want one of these mouse, or at least I want to try it out. It's a wireless pro gaming mouse, and you can connect the cable also. So, because that's one of the things I was thinking, is it annoying to have to keep changing batteries or put them on a charger thing? But as I understand it, you can just plug a cable in this and use it as a normal mouse while it charges it. So, pretty cool mouse. Pretty cool. Henrik is wise and cute. I don't know how to comment that, but I guess thank you. Spiritism is already locked behind a boss that I would never get to kill. So there will be a few different ways of obtaining some of the scrolls, spells, and knowledge in the game. Not only one way in all cases. And over time, we talked about this early on in the first game that, inspired a lot of people, that it's intended also that there should be and will be rare components in the world, like some rare scrolls or things that can be spawned in a not frequent rate. And that means those players that luckily find them or encounter them get to choose if they want to share this knowledge or not. We're looking at some possibilities to, in those cases, allow a copy or not. And obviously there's also a market and trade involved with this. I mean, now already slowly over time, more and more groups of players that are getting some of those more difficult things to obtain, they will be on the market. So, and the price may go down depending on how many there are on the market. So yeah, there may be certain skills and schools that may be rare, difficult, or something similar. And then yeah, if you're simply a solo player, then maybe you have to save money to buy it from someone else in some cases. When we get to work, good question. I asked for that in the beta. I don't know what happened with that. Would be convenient to have some of those letters back for sure. All right, when we 3 more, and we're gonna pull the raffle. Where's Base Hunter? He's in Dubai, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm waiting for his return so we can play some Mortal together again 10 years later. Can we destroy our house and get the deed back with house patch? So we intend to give some options that is suitable for the players. So as you know, we're going to add more styles and options for housing, and we don't want you to obviously have to destroy your own house or go through hell to build your new favorite house or whatever it may be. So we want you to be able to put it in a upgrade or remold state and apply that new printings, the deed, to finish the construction towards that new style. So if that makes sense. Anything common to help mage survivability? Yeah, every single school gives you a lot of cool different options. Necromancy, you can cast and run at the same time. You can control your horse at the same time. And it has specific spells from some AoE damage, straightforward, miss-aim, trails. So already there, you're getting more options as a mage. And, again, you don't always have to go full school, 100 necromancy, 100 spiritism, 100 ecumenical. You can mix and match wherever you see fit. You know the rules behind every skill, every spell have a skill range. So, if you love playing mages, the more schools we get, you can mix and match those schools by, I want to be able to cast these skills from these spells from that school. So you only train it so much, and then you spend the rest of the points into the other schools to obtain those spells. So obviously there's a balance behind how much point you have to invest in the high grand spells, but obviously there's many different types of optional spells and utility spells that is from low to medium to high range. So just every single magic school as a mage, you will have several more options over time. Right, guys, let's pull the second mouse. Are you ready, guys? Let's do it. Let's do it. Ready? Okay, here we go. Second mouse raffle, guys. This is the second last. All right, guys. Oh my god. Thank you so much for the subscription. Accidental Potato. And you are the first winner of the Logitech mouse. I hope you will enjoy. Okay, here we go. Second mouse. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. I want one of these mouse, so good luck. And here we go. Boom. Another one. Wilgum. Wilgum, thank you so much for the subscription. Who will it be? Who will it be? Here we go. 2, 1, and... Congratulations, R1 do 1. Congratulations for the win of Logitech mouse. If you are in here, congratulations, and send me a little message and I will give you the information so we can send that mouse to you. R1 do 1, are you here? All right, he's here, he's here. How long will necromancy minions remain before perishing? Will it be like spiritism needing drops from bosses? Also, is there any update on beer and terrorbird riding? So we don't intend to let the minion decay this time around. You have it until it either dies or you release it, or is one of the nifty spells that actually allows you to link to it or heal from it or make it explode. So those are options to go ahead with using your minions. Any plans on adding a mining extraction bonus trinkets? You know, there's a huge opportunity or a huge option when it comes to what could fit a trinket. And if it gives an exciting area of depth or adding to something without, again, causing bad balance, then, you know, there's opening for a lot of that for sure. Fiberfly Comp. Hello, Mortal 2. Hello, and thank you very much for the subscription. For month, thank you. Alex Poor spell for mages. No. No. So there's some obvious spells that we want to be very careful about, such as paralyze someone so you can't even move or react to anything. We need to be careful about setting players in a state where you can't act against it. Obviously, if there's a counter that makes sense, then we will, you know, go through it. But I think that we have covered a lot of really cool magic schools, and we have them kind of, the base is lined out how we want them to work and what kind of spells and what that school is all about and what makes that school unique in that way. And there are obviously things that are touching that kind of penalty on players, such as we actually have one spell for necromancy affect your stamina regen, which obviously, you know, can be very useful and very dangerous. But obviously there will be ways to try to counter for it as well and adapt to the situation. There will also be many different types of effects you can throw on pets. You know, pets will grow over time. They will be more and more powerful, tied to beast mastery and different schools. But obviously, there will be different types of spells and mechanics that also makes it, you know, put some of those pets under control or disable them in different ways as well. So now any crowd control spell. Again, we have a few of those on the table that we have as a question mark. But again, you can very easily understand how quickly it affects the PvP very, very harshly. So we're very careful when it comes to changing your ability to play your style and your build that you want to play. If someone can disable you in one spell click and there's nothing you can do about it, and you know, we want to be careful about that and want to make sure that it makes sense, it's balanced, and there may be counters for it. So again, we take one school at a time to really iron them out, to make sure they fit and balance. And yeah, Necro is the full focus right now. Shall we do a mortal copy this time around, guys? So one game copy giveaway. Let's do it now. So I'm gonna clear the old one like that, and it's gonna be explanation mark MO2, the usual.
Oh my God!
Wait, yeah, now it's working. If you're one of the earliest one, I'm gonna see if you got in. Unseeker, are you in here? Damn, so many flying ins. I can't even scroll down. I have to see when it's slowing down. All right, I think so. Did I get a subscription? Did I miss it?
Oh my God! Another one.
Another one. Tridion, thank you for the subscription. Thank you very much for your support. It is highly appreciated. And Sabe Bender. Sabe Bender, thank you very much for the subscription. I lost my house and 5 benches due to upkeep. Do you stand by losing all those hours to a glitch, or do you plan to fix it? Obviously, we take those bugs very seriously, and all of those being reported, we're getting a full picture of a full report, so our developers can look into it. So yeah, for sure, that is extremely important that we have fully ironed out by now. So again, if there's a specific bug involving in this, then yes, contact our support or Discord. Make sure we get all the information, and we will go through that case to handle it as good as possible. Sovereign with the gifts. Thank you very much. Very generous of you. Yes, it's MO giveaway now, explanation mark MO2, to have a chance of winning a mortal game copy.
Oh my God! Another one.
Ability to cast scroll like Resurrect. So the only way to resurrect the magic in Mortal Kombat 2 is being a spiritist that can cast Resurrect.
Oh my God! Another one.
Another one. And while we give it a few more minutes, I'll bring back up the roadmap for anyone that may have missed it, joining in late in today's stream. We're gonna put this roadmap on the website as well, so anyone can catch it there. Armor, thank you for the subscription.
Oh my god, another one. Another one.
Thanks for this glorious game. Thank you, thank you. We are very happy that you enjoy it. That obviously is the key component that allows us to keep doing what we are very passionate in doing, and seem to help us to make the game even better. So we basically got to use pet points. Yes. So that we have an important balance factor, because if you can both tame the strongest beast in the game and also raise the strongest undead in the game, those two need to be heavily gimped if that is possible, because we have grand plans for Beast Mastery to allow you to, with skills, player skills, utilize those pets in exciting ways. Not just having a army of the two biggest, strongest creatures and clicking attack and then wait. So it's gonna be a more challenge to utilize a good pet, and having a horde of pets is more straightforward. Okay, you may send some walkers rushing at the enemy, and that's it. They don't have these very special commands and attacks that you may use, but you may have use one of the cool spells that allow that allows you to make them explode near our target. Yeah, thank you. Also on having summon-able weapons similar to Skyrim. Not really. So there will be some enchantment and magical spells that you may cast on weapons and such, and also obviously some spells may act as weapons. But yeah, there will be special rules behind that. The core part of making weapons in the game is usually, a crafter. But there will be room for enchantment and some magical abilities on top of some weapons, and in some cases create a special magic weapon. We need to reach that school that touches that a little bit. In chance you can make ecumenical debuff shows on your player model while active. Yeah, so we do intend to do some refinement on the feedback and effects for ecumenical school. Right now we are fully busy with necromancy, but we know that where we could improve some of the feedback, just like you described. So we hope to be able to cover that sometime soon. Why can healers that have cream action turn off heal enemy cream player? I was playing around and I fully agree. I sent that directly to one of our coders to fix that, so it plays by the same rule as when you're fighting with a melee weapon. So if I'm not mistaken, it is fixed for the next patch. I have to follow up if that guy, the developer, have indeed covered it. But yes, I agree. It's quite confusing that they don't follow the same rule, right? Will staff manager include the ability to make an other staff that we can take into portal? It's too early for me to respond on that one. Staff Magic School is one of our upcoming schools after Necromancy. We haven't fully decided if it's the one after Necromancy or after the other one. And there's a few areas that I'm still designing and taking some decision with Mats as well. So they all fit, they all follow the rules and lore and have the proper names. So I can't answer it for sure yet. All right, guys, shall we do the Mortal copy giveaway now? Explanation mark MO2. If you have missed it. Oh, got a new explosion of people signing in. With all the magic, Henrik, will you have something, perhaps Trinket's Ring, that will give minus or plus, resist, etc.? Yes, there are quite a lot of room for some minor bonuses in that way. You know, as soon as we hit like, 6-7 schools plus, it's quickly become a huge variation options on how you can refine and use the different magic. And likewise, when it comes to skill bonuses and effect bonuses to the certain different schools. So yeah, it just gets more and more complex along with every single school being added. Can you tell us more about more condition you have to meet to be a veteran and have more points? No, so the initial plan we had to kind of scratch it, and we're right now looking for a new way of obtaining those veteran points in a interesting way. We still know what we want to do with it, but the specific action and components we are still playing around with. And that is also one of the discussion I'm having with Mats, that we want to figure it out and put it on the roadmap quite soon as well, because again, it allows you to further expand on the character. I don't think it's critical and in a rushed way we need to put it on the roadmap, because everyone is playing on the same term now, and it's straightforward. You have this many skill points, 1100, 1200, and that's the basics. But yeah, you will be able to push those boundaries along with the veteran system, not veterinary. Can we get a bloom setting for spells? Can't see when casting. It's a trick one, For us to have really realistic and cool looking shiny steel armors, etc., we need to tap into some bloom settings to make that magic shine. But yes, it may quickly overdo it in some spells, which is the downside of that. As soon as we pull it down, steel didn't look like steel anymore. Chronite didn't look at all as Chronite. So that's actually been quite a struggle for us. Again, this will change in Unreal 5, so we don't know how much time we want to spend into that when we know it could most likely change instantly when we step over to Unreal 5. So again, we always try to make use that all the time we spend is not in vain, you know, due to taking a step into Unreal 5. So I think we need to live with it for now until we progress a little bit more. Just ordered my own Logitech 903, looked it up and had great reviews. It arrives tomorrow. Will elastic commanding spells to shield one melee attack come soon or later? Navy styles, awesome. So you got one of those mouses. We actually have one more to give away, but now since you already have one, then yeah, maybe I mean, sure, you can still participate, but yeah, awesome. I heard it's a good mouse as well, and I've been interested in trying one myself. I wanted to try a wireless mouse, but I was not sure about the change battery or charge it or etc. But this one, you just plug in the cable and you can continue playing while it's charging. So seems awesome. Seems awesome. Okay, let's do the Mortal giveaway now, guys. So I'm gonna start it. Good luck, everyone, for a Mortal 92 cup. And now, as soon as I said it, we got more popping in. Okay, as soon as it slows down, I'm gonna run it, guys. So everyone got a fair chance. Love the roadmap. Take more of my money, please. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you, Tridon. Thank you very much. I think it's a good, solid roadmap. Like I said, we know what the majority of players want, and we try to push them in the prioritized order as early as we possibly can. And this is by that early, you know, that pulse will make it possible. This is that roadmap. I'm gonna buy two actually. I have the G402 and I love it. I use only Logitech. My first was M300. Awesome. I'm actually using what the hell is the model number on this one? Oops, no, I'm actually using a SteelSeries now. So I was using Logitech before as well, but now I'm on a SteelSeries with a cable. It works, you know, but I wanted to try a wireless. Is the under development June patch? So the thing is, there's so many components in some of those that are very huge. Like I said before, TC and sieging are, I think, one of the most sensitive system that we are putting into the game. And obviously, if something goes wrong there, it affects the players and many players severely. So we can't simply rush it into the game. We need every component to feel very, very fleshed out and fully tested. And then we plan to give you the opportunity to test it publicly as well. Sorry. So the plans are that those are huge systems and we can test it so far. But since it's so sensitive, we need a large volume of players to grind through it and test it and give your feedback, and we see how everything works. So we feel very confident before we put it into the game, because you know we all know how players would react if something goes severely wrong in one of those systems that are very sensitive and tied to a lot of players and a lot of value. So there is a lot of work from different developers. So I can't still say exactly when that final step is finished for you to start testing it, but it's under development because you guys wanted it as early as possible. We knew that. We have been preparing and working on that until we had to pause everything and work on the back end. And now we're back on working on the roadmap, while we have specific network coders still working on the back end now when we expand it a little bit. But finally we can go back to the roadmap. That is the more exciting piece for, obviously, us players in the game world. How long has Steam been up? I'm late. Since 1900 UTC. So What is it? Yeah, I had to do a computer restart because my giveaway software was messing up. I'm gonna do a giveaway now. Exclamation mark MO2 for a chance of getting a copy of Mortline. So I'm gonna. So now I got a few more. Okay, as soon as I see the last command for slowing down, I'm gonna roll it. Will there be any way to spawn inside a house? Yes, you will be able to hire a priest. As long as you pay him, you can place him in your house, for instance. Henrik, do you enjoy saying 5 to 6 minute draw time and then annoying everyone by using 20 minutes to draw? I mean, it's, you see a lot of people popping in and writing. I want to give everyone a fair chance, but yeah, maybe it's a bit more than 6 minutes. I miss that people are joining in on the as we speak. This is painful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, hero. Just trying to give away a game and some mice. Trinket be craftable. Not initially. And there is this big battle between good content that players have a explore for and have to work for, obtain, and find the right ones. If you bypass all that by just crafting it, it's done. You see what I mean, right? It's bypassing a lot of value for the game. So we need to be careful not just pushing out the farmable trinkets, if that makes any sense. If they are not here under the whole stream, they don't deserve you. Join the raffle. Partially true, I guess. Okay, let's go. I'm pulling it now, guys. Good luck, everyone. Here we go. Bam. Remove that one. It's giveaway time. Good luck, everyone. Will necromancers raise horses be allowed in towns? I don't think they will allow any walker pets. Congratulations, Mac Attacks. You got yourself a ammo copy. Congratulations. So, Mac Attacks, if you're in here, type me a message and I will give you the mortal code for Steam. Congratulations. And as always, when I give out a game copy, I'm always curious, are you a current Mortal player or a new Mac Attacks? When will wagons be in? You have to wait until we reach our next roadmap updates. There's some juicy stuff coming in for sure. I don't know exactly where the wagons are still. It's on the big list of epic things, but we haven't pinpointed the puzzle. I call it the puzzle when how many developers are involved, what order have everything needs to go before it's ready, which we have done with the 2 coming months. So we need to go through these first, and then we will go back to the puzzle. All right, Mac Attacks. I'm gonna give you the key just in a moment. Gonna find it. Where the hell do I have here? One moment. There. All right. That was the mortal key. I can talk a bit about how dual wield is going to work. So we decided that the dual wield in the first game wasn't really fun or exciting or innovative how you fight. We had an idea that, cool, you can have one blunt weapon in one hand, one slashing weapon in one hand, and you can utilize two powerful damage types. That idea was the main idea behind it. But if you played the first game, you quickly reached the conclusion that it wasn't really practical. You didn't really use dual wield for that reason. You used it mainly for special attacks, some very special actions. So we kind of fell short there. So we decided that let's not just add something that we weren't fully happy with, and the players kind of used it in a different way we thought it would be. That's why we paused that until we have had the time to go through it and redesign the function to have a fluid, nice, interesting fighting style with dual wielding. That is the goal, and we haven't had the time to go through that yet. So we need more time before we know for sure what approach or what we feel is good. We need to do a lot of testing. Yeah, guilds, tabards, guild emblems, and die tubes is one juicy package for guilds, but also, defining your gear in certain colors. That is also on the upcoming list. We want it, quite early. We don't have it yet on the roadmap or the timeline, so that is on the next batch of roadmap. We need to figure those things out. Is this an April joke, Henrik? It is indeed the 1st April right now, but no joke. Do you have a hairstylist? No, I'm my own hairstylist. Do you like my style today? I'm gonna start the final giveaway before it gets too late as well, before people get too tired. I'm gonna have another command. One moment. It's gonna be what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What hair product do you use? I just used some, I don't remember the name, but a Swedish brand matte wax, just a little bit to touch it up to have it in place. If I don't, I easily get an afro. Very thick hair. I'm thankful for it. I'm not complaining. But yeah, when I'm at the hairstylist, they pretty much cut half of the hair off, or I would have an afro. I guess I'm blessed with thick hair. Okay, let's do the final giveaway for today. I have some nifty suggestions, guys. Let's pick one. Let's do the all right, let's do in the timer. One moment, I'm gonna prepare it.
Oh my god.
GG,
Another
no
one.
plays. Thank you for the subscription. Let's do the final one, and the command will be so this is the mouse. Another epic Logitech mouse. It's hot, good review. I want one, and I think you will appreciate it. Let's do the last one, and we will have a. The command will be G903, because that is the name of the mouse. So yeah, there it is. G903. Boom. Hit it. Hit it. And yeah, if anyone missed the roadmap, here it is again. We have gone through it earlier in the stream, so I just briefly went through all of them. So if you have any questions about them, either we can go through them quickly again, or you can always see the rewind of this stream that we put on our website and try to highlight the big questions or important parts. Stables and such will not be with the housing functions. That will be with DC. Yeah, I've confirmed. So housing function is all the function that you need to control your house with friends and guilds, setting password access on both accessing the house and also chests. And then we're going to continue on some hiring. NPC service also works for houses. But then we have a lot of work when it comes to the TC function, how you can upgrade them, how you can further build city functions. So it's a huge task that requires more time. We're putting in the portables from MO1. Yeah, so the one you have here in mid-April, that at the bottom, the portable Campfire, that function allows us to use anything portable, which is nice, right? So we can put any bench or tool that is suitable as a portable placement as well. So that is the function behind that one. Thought these were coming out quick and in a hurry. It is. Again, some systems are huge. If you gave the TC design to a company like Blizzard that have hundreds of developers, they would present you saying, all right, we got it covered. Now we need to build it. Then we need to test it. And then we need to all those steps. And they will say it's ready in 8 months or so, 7 months. I don't know. I'm roughly guessing, but that is the typical way, right? We have already worked on a lot of the parts, so we are further ahead, but there are still very important steps that we need to take according to our plan. That plan have not changed. When I said early on, I mean the coming months, the coming patches. This is the first month, and we are working on it, and we will have it on the in the next updates, and you will see where it fits in the schedule. And also, of course, as I mentioned, we plan to have this on a public test server. So depending on your discovery, balance issues, whatever it may be, that also obviously adds to the development time. If we see that, okay, this part didn't work, or this wasn't fun, or this wasn't way too unbalanced, that obviously requires us to change those things, right? And then add a new patch. And then we need to go through it again and test. And as soon as we can agree on that it's polished, it's correct, it's done, it's working, it's fun overall, Obviously, everyone, again, can't ever agree, but when we see that our intention and design is working, and we see that the majority seems to love the system, that's when we go live with it. I hope that makes sense. That's why we have it on our development, to show that we are working very hard on these important areas. Yeah. Does portable campfire mean that we can place benches out in the wild with no house? It means that you can place... Do you remember the campfire next to the walkers on Haven, where the NPC stand? There's a little campfire, right? So you will be able to construct, buy, and place one of those anywhere in the world. So it has a few functions. One, it emits light. So if you're in a dark dungeon, you can place one down and you have light in that room. Two, you can use it as a heat source, so you can cook on it and such. Three, you will be able to rest next to it, and resting next to a campfire will give you a bonus to resting. So you will heal faster, recover, fatigue faster. So it's a nifty little item, quite useful. And the fourth step is that function allows us to put anything suitable as a portable, such as temporarily butcher table or anything like that. And yes, it only lasts for a certain amount of time, so it does decay. So it's not persistent, and someone can destroy it as well. So, but yeah, it's very useful for many different reasons. And, over time, we may find new things that may be suitable as a portable placing thing. Obviously, traps will also use this function. So as you can see, the more things we build, the more chances of allowing base function for many other features. So we will get even more and more, faster and faster. So placing a trap, for instance, we're going to have this placeable system for it. The next step is refining and designing the details of the traps, link them to the skills and the effects and all that. So there's a lot that gets unlocked with the placeable campfire. Doesn't sound as much, right? But it's actually a lot in the background. Wow, so no 700 campfire Congo line like RuneScape. So that is one of the things, right? There needs to be some limitations. So you can't just throw out hundreds of campfires to make a city lag with light sources, for instance. So yeah, there are those things. And obviously, same thing goes for placing traps. So you can't just place 1,000 traps and the whole world is a mine trap. So some safety rules comes along with these systems. How will we balance the new skills and magic skills when we already had to optimize our character? So that is, we still have magic, we have elementalism, we have necromancy, and quite a few things that we had in the first game, well balanced and a lot of data on it. Obviously, we make use of all that, but we also learn where we how we need to handle the balance, and also that it's important to understand that our game world will never just be perfectly balanced in terms of everything is equal. There may be so many different areas where you may be superior using this or that type of weapon and style in this situation, this location, or whatever it may be. And yeah, every time we add a new magic school, there's a chance of completely new tactics being introduced on the battlefield. But that's part of the ever-evolving game, making it exciting and interesting, and adding more and more tactics and options for all the players. So that's part of the long-term goal, and obviously that makes it impossible that it will be perfectly balanced. It just simply isn't possible. But we learn how to make it as balanced as we possibly can, and we can see that we have done a pretty good job in having all the clades, all the weapon groups quite balanced. We're very happy with the balance so far, especially compared to the first game, where that balance was quite a challenge, and it was quite off compared to what we have now in Mortal 2. So we're just going to continue on that type of setup. And also we learned that we'll never do a severe nerf to the ground. Like, okay, now this is the most common now, so we just nerf it to the ground. That would push players away and makes players nervous about what about in the future. Next time I'm build my character, invest so many hours, and then the devs come here and ruin it all. That's this classic issue, right? So we prefer to start low and underpowered, because there's always room for slowly, carefully buffs instead, but never the opposite situation. That is why we are more happy that mounted is a little bit underpowered, lances, etc. maybe a little bit underpowered, but we know that, and we have collect enough data to see that, all right, there's good room for taking specific steps in securing those and giving a little bit better options for those that are interested in those fields. I hope that makes sense. Gonna nerf Augment to the ground though. I mean, it got a important fix that actually helped with balance in this previous patch, which is the hold the ground that you could actually run around with utilizing, which is quite OP if you can. So that's been fixed. But other than that, we are very happy with the balance. Again, we see such a huge variation on all the clades, and that was the main goal. And when the data shows that is the case, we're happy with that. And also hearing from most of you guys that knows what you're talking about, fully agree that the clades are in a good spot. Henrik, this hair is beautiful. I took a print and tomorrow I'll ask my barber to do the same. Awesome. Make sure to take a picture after you've been at the barber and show us the results. I'm very interested in seeing how close you managed to get it. Good customization is on the roadmap. There's much not being on roadmap. Like I said, we have a huge list of things, and time will fly very quickly. Next time I sit here, these two will be delivered, these 2 batches, or 4 batches I would say, and then you will see 4 batches that is completely new. So we will reach a lot of content in a very fast period of time. I can tell you that, compared to any other game, and you've seen that happen during the beta if you participated in the beta. Yeah, banner, tabard, customization, guild emblems, and die functions is one of them upcoming ones. Bad magic, how rude. There's many that are, cares about the barber. That is a big profession in Mortal 2, When domination is going to be fully implemented, there are several fixes along with these patches that is not on the roadmap, because it's fixes and polish that goes in them. I don't have the exact time frame for them, but you will see them in the full patch notes. And one of them is a bug fix for domination. But we can't also add a fully force power with the strong creatures you can dominate until we have Beast Mastery that we're also working on, because they tie together. That allows us to have proper balance and player skills involved. Shall we do the giveaway so I can go to bed? Sika Nauta, calm down, calm down. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it in just a momento. Do I have final? Tune in, expression mark G903, and we're gonna pull the final giveaway. Any chance of rock solid augment clad having reduced effect when moving? It's very nice for PvE, but help in more situations in PvP. So the thing is, I don't know if you noticed this, but now it's actually working as intended, which means you can run, which means you will take full damage. But as soon as you stand still, when it's active, you will absorb that damage. So that means you can take certain steps, obviously more in a defensive way if you're hunted or they're chasing you. You can stand still when the swing is about to happen to make sure that you're doing that reducement in damage. So you can actually, if you're very careful, make sure that you stand still when you need to absorb that blow. So it goes on and off. It's not that it gets disabled. You enable the gift, right? You see the countdown on in the corner. And that means as soon as you stand still, it absorbs the damage. As soon as you move, it doesn't absorb the damage. You can take 2 quick steps, stand still, it would absorb the damage. Then move again 2 steps and so forth. So quite situational if you handle it correctly. The aggro does work, but it doesn't work as I intended when it comes to, it doesn't add aggro, it adds aggro on top of your next attacks. So you have to activate it and hit. That means your hits will do much more aggro on the creature. But yes, my intended design behind it was that you taunt it and instantly gives it aggro, so you can change the aggro more efficiently. And that change will happen. I can't say exactly when though, but that is the intention. Shall we do the giveaway, guys? So the final mouse, before we are getting too late here. So this is the mouse. Logitech G903 Lightspeed. It's a really good gaming mouse. Wireless, but you can also plug in the cable. So it's awesome. I want one, but I'm giving it away, guys. Okay, so here we go. Starting the giveaway in Assassin will come in the upcoming roadmap as well. Again, we don't have the exact time frame in which one they go in, but assassination skills and poisoning is one of them. Yeah, path issues around houses. We just identified a reason for it, and we need to spend some time in working with that. We know now why it happens, which allows us to work with it and fix it eventually. So we need to schedule some time to cover that one. Okay, guys, I'm gonna roll the mouse in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go, guys. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. Here we go. Who will it be? Who will it be? Here we go. Siuth. Strange name. Do we got Siuth in here, guys? If you're in here, write me a message. I don't know if did I, what the hell, I'm stuck. Did I Did I butcher that pronunciation? Phew. Send me a message. Psiufu. Congratulations. You won the tonight's final mouse. Let's see if he's here, guys. If he doesn't respond, I have to redo it because I need to give it away. He said woohoo. Did I miss it? Can you send me a message? There you are. Great. Yep. Let's see. All right, please follow those instructions. Psiufu, and we will send you that mouse. Awesome. Congratulations, guys, for winning those awesome mices. And we plan to do additional types of giveaways over time, you know. So there should always be a interesting incentive to tune in for a lot of goodies for Mortal 9, information, updates, eventually events, and obviously some good giveaways. Yeah, we need to add a few titles, fishing titles, scribing, and we have a few more that we have them in the pipeline. We just haven't tagged them yet. So yeah, there will be a lot more titles coming for sure. Will there be a rep system rework with the bond system? Mage titles, yeah, for sure. There's quite a few we want to add. I have a huge list of titles, and we have just added like a good first chunk of those. And yeah, for sure there will be some of those are also that we will add every now and then in upcoming patches. Can we add a official title called Master Beta? See what you did there, right? We're happy with the balance of melee weapons right now. Swords are the only weapon picked for the most part. Do you have plans to add incentive to diversify weapon choices? So we did a bug fix in our last patch that kind of increased speed on all lightweight weapons. There was a bug that capped out the minimum or the fastest speed on big light weapons. When we fixed that bug, it had a result in this last patch that made many big weapons very fast. And when we set the fastest weapon threshold with our prediction system, ping normalization system, with a latency scale to, you know, worldwide in a normal baseline, that cap have been a little bit broken with this last patch. We intend to change those speed back to the safe ping normalization speed to make sure that is more in a safe way. When we look at stats on weapon use, there's been a wave of different types of popularity, which is quite interesting. At one time, hammers was a lot used. Even though we haven't changed anything, we have seen a wave of different use in these weapon groups, and that is the natural order when people test things and I found a new way, this is the new meta, someone say, and then many copy it, and then someone else is trying something else and they find something, and so it kind of goes. The speed increase fuck the Aussie players. Yeah, that's what I mean. We're gonna change that in the next patch, so it will work better. So yeah, swords are a common weapon on the field, and it's also the easiest weapon to master. That is by design, and it's beautiful, and we're happy with that. It has a wide hit trace area. It's quite easy to master, right? And there's many different options on how you refine your sword. Axes is also very popular. They are very powerful, good damage, and they also have some blunt damage that is obviously effective towards specific things. So we see a good use there as well. Dagger uses, especially mages, quite popular. Hammers, the era of hammers have gone down a little bit, but like I said a moment ago, hammers was quite popular. Sneaking up, delivering one of those big hits, bam, it's over. It crushes heavy armor very effectively. It's the highest blunt damage. So we're not in a rush to start fooling around with this, especially now when we have a very exciting roadmap. We want to start producing again, so you get exciting content into the game, raise the interest, get good stuff going in the game again. Positivity, players can focus on fun stuff rather than the being on hold since the chaos of the release. We want to proceed to that next level. So right now we don't intend to pole axes, very popular as well, very popular. Pole sword, not as much. We have done a small buff to pole swords not a long time ago, and we saw a little experimenting with pole swords, but it looks like they may need a little bit more. So yeah, we're quite happy with where the overall weapon group balance is. We don't see it's critical that we really need to focus a lot of time there right now. But with that said, yes, there are room for refinement for sure, and to promote some of those less used options that we plan to do, but not right now. We need to get back on track, get back on the roadmap, deliver some really solid, important content now that we have said that we will do as soon as we would release the game. But we had to pause that for a while, but now we're going back to that. Someone recently caught a never before fish animal in Mortal 2. Just wanted to let you know. Oh, what kind of fish was it? I think it's so interesting because there's so many categories of playing areas in Mortal Online. All different really cool groups, many streaming, from fishing to PvP to PvE to RP. It's really exciting to see those different areas growing, and people are really enjoying those different areas. So yeah, it's really cool to see. I wonder what fish you catched. We can't hear our Mortal 2 game when it's minimized. No, we decided to disable the sound because we were playing around and people hear the VoIP voice through everything, and it got annoying. So people wanted it to be disabled when you're not focusing the window. So we follow that direction. So the question is, have that changed? Do we want that sound to go through everything when it's not focused? That is the question. Thank you for disabling sound. No, too many screaming kids in middle. I'm not exposed to the name, of course, but it has never been mentioned in the Mortal 2 Discord ever, even once. Oh, really cool, really cool. I didn't know if I heard that you guys were sharing your discoveries so far in a list, and people could see what have been discovered by the players so far. I think you do that on our forums as well, right? It's really fun to follow that progression, what people discover and what they choose to share and whatnot. Why are you such a beautiful man? I don't know, Mr. Legit. Guess I'm lucky I was born this way. Henrik, will we ever be able to use our voice for guard vendor commands? There are voice command programs, right? And you know, when there's ever a spare time to go explore some crazy function that could be fun for the game, we may do that. But not right now, as you can understand. But you know, that is doable, I think. It is Scarlet. Cool. Alvarin the Supreme. And why there is no amount of players required to make spawn bosses. Why there is no amount of players requires to make spawn bosses. Could instant stop most of the cheaters. I don't know exactly what you mean with that first sentence, but we are stopping the cheaters. Up to today, we have banned more than 1,500 accounts. So, you know, it's quite crazy how much they have invested in getting into the game to do those things, and you know, it's costing them. And we're getting more and more layers of protection, making it difficult. Catching them and removing them is a battle that we will never stop. Do you know the Kelp Dragon is not working for alchemy? I'm not sure. Please do report it, and our guys will take a look if something is wrong. Legendary weapons and armors is there will be a rare component you can find in the world, and a Grandmaster Smith can decide to use this component when you craft the weapon, and that will add a unique visual appearance on the weapon. There could be a small bonus in terms of durability or such, but most in the case we intend that not to be a PvP requirement to make the best damage in the world. We want that to be made by any Master Smith, which is 70. But if you want this rare looking, cool looking appearance on weapons and armors as a Grandmaster using this component, that is a option with this function. Do you have any plans to make rep gains easier? So we only had the first basic pack of nation tasks, as you know. We intend to add a lot of different variation on nation tasks over time. Many different categories of how you can do that type of work. And with greater risk and journey, it may also obviously increase those rewards. But it's also important to understand that the way of seeing I want to murder and kill, therefore I'm doing personal runs. That is not really the mentality we have behind how we see that. So along with the April patch with the bounty and flagging system comes some very, very important functions. And that allows you to, as a player, to choose better and control your path. Do you want to be a murderer? Do you want to be part of a guild and have wars without having to care about murderer and standings, anything of that? Or do you want to become a bounty hunter to try to track down all these murderers? So one thing is that you will be able to declare war, declare a war on a guild that have certain rules set up for you to declare that war with a fee. And people are not allowed to fight in the nations when it's not part of the nation conflict. So that means if you declare war on Guild X, you can fight against them at any time without any murder counts or criminal actions out in the world. However, you can't fight them when they're in a nation with good standings. They are protected by guards then, so you can't just jump them. But outside of the guard zones, you will be able to do that. There will also be some limited areas where it is it's lawless. So it's a risk for anyone to go there. There's no murder count either. So all of a sudden, you know, one of the biggest requests from players have been, I don't want to be a murderer, but I want to have wars. I'm in this guild. We fight against these guilds every day, and you know, we have a war declaration for that. But the players say, no, we don't want to declare the war because you can be ganked at the bank at any time or whatever. We don't want to have that against us. So people push out. Players not as hardcore as they used to be in my time in Ultima Online. So we have to adapt to the new era of hardcore players. So this means now if you fall under these rules, you can force declare them, which means, you know, now you are in a war because you're in that conflict relation. But again, you are safe, obviously, inside of your walls if you built them, and you know, partially inside of your house, but also inside of nation you have a good standings. You're protected there. But other than that, you have a war on your hands, and you can kill them, get killed, and there's no nation loss or murder loss. So I hope that makes sense. That gives a more better control for those that want to go for those different areas. And murder's going to be bounty hunted. Unreal 5 when? So we are working with Epic Games, as I mentioned, two steps. We are stepping over to Unreal 5 and we are releasing the game on their platform. So two huge steps that we are working towards. We don't have the exact dates yet. We have a few points or a few steps we need to do in the back end still before we are ready on releasing on Epic Games Store. And we are waiting on a commercial build from Epic Games. We are in contact with them and they are working on a commercial build that they mean this is the build that should be working for Mortal Online. And obviously when we get that build, that's when we're gonna go through, do tests to see, is it ready, is it stable, and can we maintain performance, and does it help in those areas, you know, where we are expecting it to help. So we're getting closer and closer for sure. And as soon as we have arrangement done, confirmed, we will announce those dates on our roadmap. So yeah, very important commercial steps. And that's also another big step for our continuous growth of awareness, releasing, getting more players, etc. And obviously, you know, all those pieces goes into place. Good night, Cool Geo. How does lawless zones work? Where will they be with dungeon and trade routes be included? So the obvious ones are the lawless cities, Kranish and Galkor, and an area around those. It's going to be quite a huge area up close to Herabalter and Galkor. So a huge area that is dangerous grounds for anyone, and it's no man's land pretty much. So that is the whole area that you need to be consider that there's no consequences to violence pretty much. And then we're looking at obviously the controlling options for keep owners that have a huge influence of power and area, where it's up to them to decide, do they want to sign with a nation or do they want to go against all nations, have it an open free-for-all, or do they want to ban everyone and have it a no-go zone? There will be options for those keep owners. And there will be some kind of message and awareness for players that get that information so they know that, okay, no one is welcome in this area where this guild runs this keep, for instance, or this is a publicly open area and they even align with the Tindremic Empire, for instance, so those rules apply there as well. They have an alliance. So yeah, there will be quite a few options along with that as well. Are you hiring? What do you need? Is remote work okay? Yes, remote work is okay in many cases. We are looking for VFX artists and animators specifically, and preferably well experienced to do those things for Unreal 4 and 5. So we have a high prioritized order on those. Specifically animation, it's very difficult to find currently. And as we mentioned before, there's quite a few bottlenecks on content that is held back by animation work actually. So if we can just get one more animators, we'll produce a lot of things in different areas that is held back by some animation work. What is the plan for veteran points? Will be a way to raise skill point cap. You won't raise the cap, but you will be able to gain more experience to distribute on action and professions, pretty much. Will you ever allow to have 2 players riding 1 horse? Yes. There will be mounts that allow more than 1 player sitting on it. And we will have wagons that allows as many players as can fit on or in that wagon, similar to ships. You can bring as many players as you want that fits. So it's gonna add a lot of cool options for the future. Imagine a huge wagon with ushers, running around. Stable at keeps will be a pretty big quality of life. Yeah, that is part of the TC under construction. We are working on that. There's the first patch. So TC won't just be one patch and that's it. And one of the biggest things that we're working on are those functions, just like you said. Guard posts, stables, banks, different NPC services that can be built and offered to the players. And the owners set the different rules on who can access them, etc. Ships will have siege weapons. Yes. Ships will, you will be able to play as a pirate. We won't have cannons or gunpowders or rifles. That is an important design choice. There will, however, be obviously magic, archery, arbalests, crossbows, and scorpion ballistas. And yes, siege weapons. You can put them as well on ships. So you can pretty much have a portable catapult on your ship, which is quite cool. Or a badass scorpion ballista that is a heavy ass, super big crossbow, pretty much, that shoot very heavy crossbow bolts. And yeah, you will be able to use fire as well and different components to put some on some of these. We're working in any storyline for the game. So Mats is our lore guy from Online. He had pretty much created the lore and history and setting in the world. I choose the fantasy setting and kind of where we wanted to have the time era. One of the decisions, we didn't want to have the pirate hats and muskets and cannons. We never were fond of that. So we're taking the more classic, like Lords of the Ring, Game of Thrones, Dungeons and Dragons approach a little bit, and we do our own take on the universe and everything. We're heavily inspired by Earth and realistic things. That's why you can find a lot of common names and how you produce steel, for instance. A lot of real life rules apply to a lot of things, which is very interesting. And yeah, Mats have written a lot of lore for the game. We have a lot of documentation that is unknown information in the game that players doesn't know about. And everything starts, long before the clades, the playable races are even born. You have a very exciting history behind everything, because that is also the key to make everything make sense for the long run. And most of this prehistoric is not meant to be posted or shared, which is obviously a little bit sad because it's awesome and epic. But It's meant to give over time clues and information spread out in the world that can give players hints, some information, and some people may draw different conclusions, and it's up to the players to, make this or that being the case. So must have really exciting or interesting ways in incorporate lore in a way that is just brilliant. Just sitting down and listening on him and about those ideas and reading his documents is just really amazing. And obviously I want to get this into the game as much as possible so it makes sense and give you also the depth that we have in the background, because we need to know the secrets of a lot of things, because it makes sense of explaining a lot of the things that you get to play now. But you won't know all of those secrets. You may find discoveries and hints of that, and the exciting part is that you can reach the correct conclusion based on what you discover, but obviously you can also draw completely wrong conclusions. So that is a very interesting aspect that I want to add as much as possible of, so we can get that deep lore going and moving forward as well in the time where you also make history in the game. Advanced Swedish lore. Yeah, part of it can be revealed, and that we plan to do that in the game. But part of it is also, this is the tricky part. I said, I want to release this. Can we do that? And I said, holy shit, no, because all this and that is a very big secret. The players shouldn't know that. So he have a very clear overview of that and what should be in the game and shared. Because like I said, Mats designed the whole universe around Knave, even the planets and the history long before humankind and the different clades walked on Knave. And that is just epic to read about. But obviously, if you weren't born then and haven't found information about it, you don't know anything about that. But that is what we want to start working on and adding into the game as well over time. So yeah, it's a big part we want to add. If you were to base naval combat off an exciting game, what game would it be? I mean, I've watched on quite a few games, both modern warfare, naval combat games, but also those that are a bit more close to our settings in universe, such as Sea of Thieves. I haven't played it myself. I was about to try it because, again, there's nothing wrong, quite the opposite, in trying different types of games when there's a very specific feature that some game may do very well. Obviously, we want to see why does people find it good and fun, right? So we want to try to see if there's something we can capture that fits our game as well. Obviously, Mats have a one-of-a-kind brain, master mind when it comes to really unique, cool design. So I don't want to get stuck in, yeah, this game have the best this, so let's copy that. Why not make something groundbreaking that is groundbreaking for the genre coming from Mortal? That's what we want to do as much as possible. One of them that I think we succeeded is our crafting systems. Again, we try to push the crafting system that no one else have done, have logic make sense, and still making it like millions of combinations. So it's super fun and exciting for those that are into crafting. Obviously, we want to do the same thing for our magic schools, our construction of cities and siege, and yes, ships and warfare, naval warfare. So yeah, inspiration, etc., to see what makes people enjoy them. How can we refine it and make it even better? That is our goal when it comes to adding those functions now in the upcoming months for us. Sea of Thieves, Atlas, Archers. Yeah, those three. I've heard a lot of positive things from those three. So obviously good games references to see how they've done the different parts. One thing is that they use a C system, all share the same C system from NVIDIA, we have looked at that system, and there's some bad things with it, but also a lot of good things with it. But now we're looking at Unreal 5 that may surpass it. So that's why we haven't decided on the C system. But yeah, I heard good things about all three, and when I looked players playing them, it looks cool, fun, and great in many different ways. But like I said, I have good faith in that me and Mats together can do something even more awesome. Just like, you know, many of our system that people really enjoy and think is awesome. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Valheim, yeah. 2 good games as well for sure. What's your favorite guild in Mortland 2, lol? That is a tricky question, right? I mean, obviously I hear rumors and I see the tendency of what some of the guilds are doing, right? You know, some are just all about killing, PvP. Some are about heavy RP, just like Odin Seed. I have to say that Odin Seed is just super entertaining to watch. So many cool guys that are RPing really, really on a high level, and it's just epic to see. If you haven't seen their streams, I highly suggest to watch them, because yeah, it's like watching a movie sometime. It's just awesome. I can't stop watching those streams when they're streaming, especially when they get together and you can see the adrenaline when they are in fighting in wars, and when they just simply RP with their amazing they have some players that are just awesome. What are the name? Their Bard and the sniffing guy. I mean, it's just hilarious. You gotta see it to know what I'm talking about. So I'm really happy to see that guild. Yeah, Tom Barry. I'm really happy to see that guild in Mortland 2, and they're just having a blast, and everyone participating with them or against them or watching the stream is also having a blast. So I'm really happy to see them in our game and growing on a daily basis. A lot of people want to join them, and I can see why. So really solid guild, I think. And they seem to fight darkness, so it looks like most of them are fighting for the good side, which is always nice, because sometimes it can be the opposite, right? We need some balance. Koto, a very old guild since Mortal 1, when Base Hunter were playing as well. So probably one of the older guilds that is a huge force. Usually, you know, what I've experienced, usually good towards new players, and they have their base land around Medulla, if I'm not mistaken. They always be nice to me when I see them, but you know, you never know. I can't speak for all of them. Artisan helps all the new players. Yeah, I heard a lot of good stuff about Artisans, so you know, it's awesome to see different types of guilds as well. Trader guilds, you know, RP guilds, all types of guilds. So it's impossible to pick one, obviously. I'm happy when I see a variation and a lot of balance. That's for me. I think that helps the game in a positive direction. If we just had all in one category in the same way, it wouldn't be as exciting, right? Go put the French language, please, in the game. Yeah, we actually have a huge portion from France, and we know that the language is important in that area, including some others like Germany. So yeah, we intend to take big leaps into different regions in the world to promote them heavy, and also make sure the translation is done to just simply grow the player base. Got a lot of Asian players joining in as well, growing, so that is awesome to see. We have the Milkers, right? An awesome guild. So yeah, we have many cool, interesting guilds in different ways. We have fishing groups. I don't know if there are specific fishing guilds or just groups, but I was really impressed to see the fishing huts in Tuxai. Really awesome, chill group. So many people just enjoying fishing and just having a really good time. Really awesome to see as well. Sec is Korean guild living in Monkur. There's no best RP in game. Ah, interesting, interesting. Not sure if I've seen SAC. I've seen a lot of different players from all over the world. Korean, Chinese. So yeah, for sure. It's really interesting to see they find their way into the game as well. But trust me, over the year, we're gonna pinpoint many more of those different regions and promote the game. So yeah, the plan is to take over the world, right? As a true sandbox MMORPG, and you don't do that in one short run. You do that with hard work and a big plan. Pizza Guy is funny and entertaining. Jonah, you wanna find, and PK. Yeah, he's fun. He's fun. I watch a lot of his streams, so no doubt there's very good energy and entertainment in his streams as well. Great fishing system, well done. Great fishing system, well done. Thank you, Dingo. I think it's really good. Yes, there are a little bit refinement. There's room for refinement. You know, most system there's always room for some quality of life and refinement. And so there's a few things you want to refine a little bit that will make it even a little bit better. And then obviously over time, the discovery you can do with fishing will also grow heavily over time, especially along with coming continents. So yeah, it seems like players that enjoy fishing and you know want to do that seems to really enjoy our fishing so far, and it's just going to grow over time. It would be even better. Like Rider beers. Yeah, so that depends on, like I said, we have a bottleneck on animator manpower. If we can expand that field, you will see faster, more mounts and pet equipment over time. So right now we have to prioritize order. So for instance, necromancy is dependent on animation. All pet equipment and mounts and creatures and bosses all heavily dependent on animation. So as you can see, we have to quite difficulty prioritizing these different areas to progress evenly, but with more animators we can progress in those multiple fields simultaneously even faster. This one streamer, all he does is teach fishing and he's very good at it. Yeah, it's what is his name again? Squirrel something. I watched his stream quite a few times, hanged out in their hut, and yeah, it's just awesome to see. Yeah, he's actually streaming now. Squirrely 711. Really nice guy, and yeah, he knows a lot about fishing, and yeah, it's awesome group. Just if you want a relaxed time, hang out in their hut or stream, and you will see it's really nice people in there, and you can just enjoy and relax and learn a lot about fishing or anything, you know, goes in there. So yeah, really awesome. Koda has a lot of nice players helping newbies in Meduli. Yep, that's true. I always seen that Kota have been, you know, nice to especially, you know, new players. Obviously they have conflicts and guilds against them, but I think that is also part of it. Gives excitement for those that want that kind of conflicts. But yeah, I always seen that they're helping new players in Meduli. Are not nice. They come to Moki and RPK everyone and their horses. I'm not up to date if they have any specific agendas against certain areas or guilds. That may be the case, and obviously if a guild grows very quickly and are huge numbers, there may be players that simply do whatever they want, even though it may not be the traditional rule or direction that the main of the guild does. So, you know, I hear different things, and obviously that's, you know, what you experience in the game is obviously key for you guys, right? So I can't say what their status is in terms of that. Wouldn't mind a more lootable variety of trinkets separate from charged ones. Yeah, the core rule for it is that if you have any trinket in your inventory, you will lose it on death. If you wear it, you won't lose it on death. So it's quite straightforward, like a semi-lootable system, but also it's the only way for us to invest a lot of value into trinkets. That value in trade and investment and farming and all that goes straight out the window if everything is dropped on death. So it was an important decision to make trinket being a big, robust, tradable, interesting function in the game that everyone can enjoy. Kodo doesn't like Wolfpack. No, I mean that is again part of the game, right? We need all types of guilds, small, large, medium, and they all have their different opinions and goals to set up. And yeah, Wolfpack, quite new to the game. Jonah Vale, if not mistaken, leading them. Bringing a lot of new players, so that is awesome. Teaching them to survive and fight, and the tricks of the game is, of course, very good. So quite a new group of players in general. So obviously, it's a tough one to fight a veteran guild like Kodo. But you know, that is what's interesting. Over time, Borderline 2 is new. There's a lot of veterans from the first game that obviously have a lot of knowledge and power and experience. But you know, we have a very exciting future ahead with so many new players arriving in many new great forces. I mean, for instance, the Russians weren't in the first game in the same way as they are in Borderline 2. We have some of the biggest guilds are from Russia. There have been a constant growing rate into the game. They're doing their things, you know, and ruling big things. And we're seeing a lot of Asian players joining in, a lot of Germans, a lot of French people. So it's just awesome to see how everyone is joining in, even though things are a little bit on pause, right? But as soon as you start hitting these content feature updates, getting backend fully done, and reinitiating the release phase again, marketing, translation, pinpointing the different regions, I have no doubt that the game will have a very exciting population, growing population, and that obviously will change again the picture of what guild is, you know, the big ruling guild or with the different types of conflict. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm sure there will be a competition from the current one with completely new guilds showing up over this coming year, no doubt. And I'm planning to change the interface since it doesn't look so good in 2022, but it brings back memories of 2009. Yeah, so this is a trick one. There's one system in Unreal 4 that we haven't been real happy with, and that is the user interface coding and function parts. It's not good enough for us to put a artistic, talented artist that will make amazing UE that I'm approved, I'm happy with it, and then he can put it into the game. Sadly, that's not possible within Unreal 4. So that means it needs to go through coders, and that transition and translation from the art to the code part, that is pure hell and very specific for the engine. So I would say that is one of the things that is lowest. We rate that worst in Unreal 4. And we will love and hope that that's completely changed in Unreal 5. I'm not sure what kind of changes they have done in that category, but I really hope they have. So we can actually put talented artists that simply can just do that without having to struggle a lot with coders. But I'm not sure at this point, actually. I haven't looked into that one, enough. But I agree. When I look at the original design that Adria have designed for us, it looks very different from what we have in game, sadly. And we've been struggling with that and can't spend too much of our developer time into that, which shouldn't be the case either. So either we had to find additional UE coder expert for Unreal that can dedicate for that, or that made proper updates that can allow talented artists to do their work there. So I agree, there's for sure room for improvement there. And we will see how we may be able to battle that with Unreal 5. The trinket system was good in MO1. It was very good and people enjoyed it a lot. There was so much content around trinkets. Gave people to always be a little bit excited. What did I find today? It's like open a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. What movie is that, guys? Life's like a box of chocolates. What are your current thoughts on the Integrity Guild? We are an international and have a Russian and NA, as well as building a EU sect. I've heard about Integrity. I've seen them a little bit in the game. I don't have much information about them, so I can't really have my own opinion on what I think at this point, actually. I know too little, I'm afraid. I don't know if any of you guys are streaming. That is also a good way to marketing your guilds and your goals, because that's how I found a lot of knowledgeable information as well, just by chilling and watching some streams. So yeah. You talk like your years of transferring to UE5. No. We have prepared for taking this step. We have actually tested taking the step already, compiling everything, see how everything is working. And that was actually surprisingly efficient and not too complicated. Why we don't want to rush it is for some very important reasons, obviously. We don't want to lose performance. That is important. The lighting system shadows is completely rebuilt in Unreal 5. And for us to utilize that and make it look next gen, we need to go through performance and different settings to make sure that we're not wrecking client performance. That would be bad. Obviously, we need to make sure it runs stable. Those are the main components. And we have prepared everything to step over. We have talked to Epic Games to take this step from our current build and how that will work. So everything is kind of lined up for it. And Epic Games told us, wait until this day, because then you're going to get a new build from us that is the commercial stable build. And that's what we're waiting on right now. When we get that, we're going to go through that and, plan that step and to see if it's ready or not. But yeah, no. It's not years off. We're getting closer and closer. It's also actually one of the components we are relying on for our next continent, which we are working on. So, yeah. In Sons of Anarchy Guild with my brother. All right. Henrik, a few streams ago you mentioned that you would be adding in special moves for weapons, but it doesn't appear on the roadmap. Is this coming with the legendary weapons or getting waste-sided? No, it's not currently on the roadmap, and it is on the big list, and we use the big list and trying to read in from the players what do we want next first. So there's a lot on this list, obviously, for years to come. But yeah, there are several parts that we want to cover earlier than later, and eventually we're gonna reach the step where we decide. Now I think it's time to add additional content for weapon groups, which are these special moves. We have quite a lot already designed and ready to go, but obviously we need to dedicate some coding time and testing time, balance time, before we will be ready. So again, we take it in a few months at a time. Now we have April and May iron out. We are fully dedicated to this, obviously. as soon as May is delivered, we're gonna show the next batches 2 months at a time, what we're focusing on next. So again, we try to read what the majority would like to see first, and also try to cover in all different play styles, so it's not only one area. Is a plan for VPN exploiters? How do you mean? In what way VPN exploiter? Any chance we can get more clothing options? Yeah, that is one of the things on the upcoming list where it comes to more gear from clothing and additional armor pieces, and also the additional weapon groups. And not only new weapon groups, also more types in the current groups. There will be so much over time that it's going to be exciting, because everyone will have so much uniqueness to their build and style eventually. As long as we get good optionals for a lot of those contents. Massive bus, like an overworld bus. This bus in May is we're pushing the step forward from the tier 2 buses. So again, very exciting things. Obviously, we've been fiddling around a little bit with Elden Ring. Why is that game popular? It's all about, or much about, boss fighting, right? And it's just awesome. It was a huge success. A lot of people enjoy it, and there's no reason for us to push AI and cool group and boss fights behavior in our game, because we built the core for it to be next gen MMO AI, which is not the typical you see in most MMOs today, at least. So yeah, this is a further step forward in adding more functions and behaviors for our bosses, which will just give you exciting boss fights and a lot of new types of challenges. So that is a big step forward. And then, as you can see in the upcoming development, we are working on a lot of more of those to utilize that kind of behaviors and functions to give you just a lot over time. But think about Dreadlords. I heard a lot about Dreadlords even from Mortal 1. So old guild, a lot of veterans, obviously. And I remember when we started the beta, Mortal 2, a lot of Dreadlords came back. We're very excited. I met them a lot in game. We're having a good talk. Sometimes we do the same in Mortal 2, especially since the later beta, when I jump in game and people show up, we talk VoIP in game. It's really cool. So, yeah, I know they're veterans, and they are obviously in Mortal 2. And I know that they are a force to reckon with, no doubt. They have been in Mortal Online 1 for a long time. So I'm sure they will, be on a similar path for Mortal 2, no doubt. And yeah, I know they are in conflict a lot as well with a lot of guilds. So a lot about PvP, no doubt. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they are a force to reckon with, now ahead, when we're going to start growing the player base as well, when new guilds show up. It's going to be interesting to see, will it be a lot of the old veteran guilds, or will it be new guilds? That is the question. I'm just here to enjoy the smooth, sultry voice, Mr. Henrik. Right, Manem. Sun optimization on here in distance. Yeah, we have done a few things there that should help when that happens. So we will see next patch if that solves it. Not sure if you thought about it because I just got off work. Will you be letting vendors to take from the bank funds like you allowed? Going to the bank back and forth is kind of ridiculous, and having a vendor able to take from the bank will cut down congestion around bank. It is a good quality of life function, I guess. So it's something we obviously can consider to see, does it work? What necessary changes is required? Is there a risk involved? But it's worth looking into for sure. I think down the road, there's a lot of suggestions on good quality of life options. We just need to make sure that they don't interfere in any other way and are safe to implement. You sleep making it back into the game. So now when we get to campfires, do you want sleeping back or should we just skip it and allow it to rest with the same effect so you can see? That is the question. I don't know if we need sleeping back. What do you think, guys? Portable crushers is the function we get with campfires. I'm falling quite behind here. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. So the VPN exploiters in that way in getting new accounts is something I addressed with Valve, and they say that they have measurement in place against it. I don't know exactly what they have against it and how well it works, but they assured me that they are working against such kind of exploits. Obviously, we're quite dependent on Steam system when it comes to that kind of security, and every time there's something that occurs, I have a very close contact with Valve in regards of that. So I just left that question, and they just arrived back assuring that they have set a step against that. So the question comes down to what is happening in this particular case that we may have to investigate with Valve then. Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm new player in Mortland 2. I played a bit of Mortland 1, and I was wondering if there was a plan to add writable books again. That is a plan to add again, yes, but I don't know where that will be on the roadmap. We have quite a list, and as you can see, we have a quite robust list already in the makings. But yeah, it was a really fun feature. Both painting and writing books and publish them was really cool little feature in Mortland 1 that quite a lot of people enjoyed. So we do plan to add that back in a refined way in Mortland 2, but I can't say when at this point. Don't need a VPN to reroll. I mean, if you're VAC banned, then all the different types of bans, then you have to fight against the rules quite hard. This is the work we've been doing, and it led to 1,500 accounts banned, and since then things are slowing down greatly right now. Quite a difference since our last patch. The house function is coming in April. So that is the house owner can now get a co-owner, and the owner can also set password layers on entrance and chests. That simply allows you to give your friends and guilds different types of access to the house and the different chests. So important features that promotes house use between more than one player, pretty much. Down the line, are trees, rocks, and what not going to vanish once depleted? So we went through that. We had a system for how to make it, but we also had to decide, is it worth all these months? Because that's what that system would enforce on us. So we had to decide, do we want to spend those months on these other systems, or do we actually want to spend those months in having the false trees falling and disappearing? Obviously something we want and plan for, but the technical implementation of it took so much time that we decided it's not worth it at this point. We will get so many other feature instead. We don't know if Unreal 5 will simplify some steps. If that's something we have to reevaluate. I'm not sure. But yeah, for sure, we decided we wanted it, and we knew we wanted it, and we knew how in Unreal 4 and our current network solution. But yeah, simply too much time at that given time. So we will revisit it, down the line, and see what is required at this point of time, and see if it's worth it to do it, in any time frame. Sleeping bag. No, spend time on important things. How about no horses in the freaking bank? I agree. So, again, we added the bank function to allow you to access the bank from outside the bank, so you don't have to struggle too much with crowdness. I've seen horses, I've seen the crowd, especially in Meduli and some other cities. So we're going to give that command so you can access the bank from further away, much more sufficient. You don't have to target and be too close. And I also wanted to add that if you just put your horse or mount or pet in the city or in the bank and just let it stay there, as we can see a lot happens in Meduli, it should lose loyalty in a decent time frame, which means you will learn that if you want to keep your pet happy, you should remove it from there, put it in the stable or wherever, or to make sure that you're not occupying space and unnecessary traffic. So that is something that, sooner or later we most likely implement something like that as well. Bring sleeping back. Sleeping back, theory is better with sleeping. That's true. That's true. For realism, sleep would be cool. Sleeping means can't see surprise attacks. That is true. That is the big difference. When you sleep, so in the first game you could rest, which means you can see and regain hit points, but it wouldn't regain your fatigue, your gray bar. You would have to sleep to do that, which meant if you slept by a campfire, you couldn't see what's going on. So there could be a surprise attack, and obviously thieves made proper use of this. so that is the big difference, I would say. Yes, sleeping. So yeah, seems like many of you may be interested in having that sleeping for those various reasons. Sleeping and stats command 2, please. It's not working when I admitted to only paying 60 for 11 accounts. Yeah, so Valve assured me that their VPN checks works. I can't say how it works or doesn't work. I don't have insight in their systems, but I brought this question up specifically for that, and also to make sure we don't have heavy abuse in that way. And obviously we have one option left if we see that they're still bypassing different ways that Valve can't handle. We have one option, and then it's obviously to change the regional prices on where it's abused. We are monitoring every region in the world, and we have seen some numbers that make us suspect, and we have sent these to Valve, and they assured me that it is correct, but I'm still hesitating if it is, and that may force us to take action ourselves in the regional pricing, sadly. You want to catch 95% of the cheaters? We're already doing, Maxtor. We're already doing. That's why we see a huge slowdown in cheating. 1,500 accounts and accounting since our latest systems. So we are making great progress, no doubt, and we're not done yet. Kind of really hard to filter items in the broker. Yeah, there is some quality of life we want to add to the broker for sure. It's working, it's great, but yeah, it can be refined with some quality of life stuff and options, which we plan to do. Will players be able to craft trinkets? Not initially, and it wouldn't be the traditional way, because like I mentioned before, it was the same question. We don't want to compete and destroy the big value of discovering trinkets, having a value and trade of them. Obviously, if you can craft the same type of trinket that you have to find in the world, then instantly that affects that kind of value and trade and exploration of discovering and farm. So initially no, but there is room for, again, jewelry and enchantments. Mats have that as a desired list that he wanna design for us. So down the road we have to see how that fits with this trinket system. Will fist weapons be a legendary weapon? So all weapons we have available for crafting can be a legendary weapon, based on if you find one of these components that a grandmaster can use when crafting them. So he makes the legendary weapons. Can you build walls? You could build walls in the first game, and first it was fun and great, but then it slowly turned out to a bad world. Wall of content, a world filled with walls and looked strange and bad, and no player interaction, and it just added more and more bad things to the game world. So this time we decided let's not go that path anymore. So we have heavily limited walls to keep locations only, and you can't construct them like that anymore. All right, guys. Did I finish the second giveaway already? Yeah, we done 4 giveaways today. 1 mortal copy and 3 Logitech Mouse. So yeah, they're all out. But don't worry, we plan to do several types of streams in the upcoming months with both different types of giveaways, events, and other discussions and cool stuff. And we will also quite soon, we're aiming for the Epic Game release, when we're gonna take the step in promoting our awesome streamers, content creators. We're gonna have a drop program for them so they can promote their channels and promote the game at the same time. We have a suitable cool thing that you can obtain as a streamer and watch one of those streamers that have that drop enable. And also down the road we may add some game time as drops as well to give some nice incentive for our awesome content creators and streamers to help promoting them and give some goodies away for everyone. With buy orders, will those orders only be full durability items to avoid people selling almost broken items? So the mostly use for buy orders is when you put any resource type or such that you want. So you put up that you want 10,000 or a stack of this type of stone or steel or pickables in the world or whatever. That's where it really shined in the first game. Rich players that simply didn't have the time or interest in harvesting different things could put up huge buy orders, the price and the demand set by the players, and all of a sudden an army of noobs or people that doesn't know what to do filled jobs, tasks on the buy orders, making money and learning at the same time. So win-win. The rich guy got these resources, and the new player, whoever it was, got good money paid for doing that job. So it really helped promoting the trading and economy and gave players an option to just simply put up a buy order for anything of that and get those fulfilled quite quickly and efficiently. Greetings from Canada. How will trinkets work? Crafting and using. So no crafting initially for trinkets. It's a very important item that you can discover anywhere in the world. 5 tiers from 1 to 5, from weak to powerful. When you wear them, you can't lose them. If you wear them and you die, it loses a charge. 1 out of 3 charge. When they reach 0 charge, you have to recharge them, and that costs money. And there are millions of different types of trinkets that have different stat bonuses, skill bonuses that will allow you to further make a unique build for your character. And obviously you can trade them. There's going to be a huge market for it, and really exciting. Every time you discover a trinket, it's exciting to reveal what it is, what it holds. Wait, sleeping was an option this whole time? Not in Mortal 2, only in Mortal 1. So in Mortal 2 we made that resting did both resting and sleeping, removing the gray bar. In Mortal 1 you have to sleep to remove the gray bar. So it's an extra step, a little confusing for new players. Everyone asked how to get rid of the gray bar. Every veteran responded, sleep. And also sleep by a campfire to make it more efficient. So we start without sleeping now in Mortal 2. But it do hold some interesting points that when you do sleep, you don't see. So you're a target for an ambush or a thief. But yeah, other than that, I'm not sure if we want to add that extra step that could be a little bit of an annoyance for especially new players. And the question is how much value it adds contra, if it doesn't fit anymore. That's the main question. I heard Instakill is out of jail. Then I hope he learned the lesson well and won't be doing those criminal stuff again, because we will always take action. We will police report, and as I mentioned before, we're working with FBI in Sweden, and they have an international program that works against crime on internet. And so we do always what we can to put criminals to justice. Matt is a legend. Do you mean Mats? Yeah, he's one of a kind when it comes to making amazing lore and systems. He's a really awesome guy. When will dynamic spawn be implemented? So we already have one type of dynamic spawns in the game. Tons of them is spread out, which means they will, when you go there, you will trigger this behavior that will add different types of creatures or humanoids that you've never seen before in that area. So that's already in many areas of the world. But we are also working on a point of interest system that ties to creatures and humanoids that will help bringing a much better world exploration interaction and rewards that we really think will make a huge difference in the world exploration feeling. We're very confident that will help a lot. I want a 3080 giveaway. Yeah, I asked NVIDIA if they could provide some of those, but they are, it's a huge struggle still when it comes to getting your hands off such card and hardware. There's still a shortage in many types of hardware with those type of chips and the availability. And so they could only give us those GeForce Now subscriptions last time I talked to them. But yeah, let's see down the road. Please don't die sleep. Please try to speed up the game instead. Sleep it up just a tad. Speed it up. So with these campfires, it will speed up the resting effect. Resting next to a campfire will have a bonus. Amulet trinkets, necromancer amulet, 1, 2, 3, 5. Spirits work like a spirit box, make it happen. I don't see tabletop tavern games anywhere on this roadmap, Henrik. I sure hope you haven't forgotten. I'm excited to see those. Yeah, it is on a list. And yeah, I didn't make it this list. But for sure, it will be on upcoming roadmaps. One of them, I don't know exactly where we put it. Specifically, that developer is right now fully dedicated on the network, believe it or not, strangely, but he's our network guru. So he's working a lot still on the back end simultaneously with this roadmap starting. And he's also part of some of the back end for all our table games and tavern games. We have a whole backend system for future games and other systems such as the VoIP system and chat system. So again, this is huge, also related to network systems that are separated so they don't compete with performance on the actual gameplay in many cases. So as soon as he's done with the back end high prioritized necessary steps, he will make use of our game systems. So yeah, we will go there as soon as he's available for that. So something like an imprisonment system plan, say for bounty hunters. There's always room for some of that. Again, we want to be careful that we don't limit gameplay, that you're limited and stuck and can't get out of it, and it's a timer for that. So but there could be room for some options for that, so you can choose. I think there are some room for that. We just simply need more time to see when we could look into that step as well that could fit bounties. How will inns and taverns affect resting? So yeah, many of those functions and also decorations have where we see a natural logical bonus for different things that we will eventually add over time. So a lot of the decoration may just look like fancy stuff right now, but they may also have some bonuses to your character. So for instance, if you look out in your house and you have a fancy bed, you may have a X amount of percentage bonus in your next time you log in your upcoming first hour gaining experience. And the better bed, it could be even more experience that hour. If you have a library, stuff like that, you may have a small boost to your reading skills. So I think there's interesting room for logical, small, but cool bonuses to those type of structures and decorations. What is food used for when sleep is implemented? So sleep doesn't fill your reserves, only remove your gray bar. So it kind of put you to 100% of your current hit points, mana, stamina. But then you have a few thousands of a pool that is the reserves. This is where food comes into play. So if you just rest, so you have 100% again, as soon as you start using stamina, you will instantly see gray bar slowly starting eating again, right? So for this not to happen, every second, you eat proper food that fills the stamina, mana, and health reserves. And that means you can fight, run, and cast spells a lot before you start eating from the gray bar, seeing the fatigue levels. But again, we haven't decided if we're gonna have the sleep or just rest still. That does that. Been playing a lot of chess in VR. Please add chess to tabletop games when they're implemented. Very fun. Yeah, for sure. Chess, poker, blackjack. So we already have blackjack finished, which is really cool. It's easy game. Everyone can play it. And you can play with others at the table against the house. And you as a house owner can actually take the fees. You can be the bank. So it's pretty cool. You can actually make money opening a house with those types of table games. And for sure, poker, Texas Hold'em, where we can have tournaments, play for different items and in-game currency. It's gonna be fun and cool. And yeah, VR in that situation just adds another layer of it. Just imagine sitting there in the Mortal Universe in beautiful, amazing tavern, sitting there with your friends playing in VR. It's gonna be a blast. There's a lot of cool things on the horizon for sure. And yeah, chess, one of them. And then also Matt's own created games, we're gonna implement those as well, dice games. So yeah, we have a lot of things. Sleep is cool, good for immersive RP world. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty much the same thing as resting, just that you close your eyes, right? So you are a little bit more vulnerable against ambush and thievery, obviously, but it makes sense. We will see. All right, I'm actually getting quite tired. I slept a little bit so this night. But yeah, it's really exciting to have the roadmap iron out and on full pace now, with most of the developers working towards these goals now. So I think we have some important and exciting weeks ahead, getting those last steps that we need on the back end still. That is why the alt service is going up and down during work hours when we're monitoring very important things. But we don't want to take away gameplay time from you. So that's why we always make sure you can play. We don't take down the service if it's not a necessary patch, obviously. Getting that last steps in place, getting capacity where we need it to be, proceeding with the roadmap and releasing on Epic Game Store, and starting to grow again worldwide. And then we will have hopefully the most exciting, for sure, Sandbox MMORPG that will be just growing heavily. This year will be the year of Mortal Lion 2 on the map, the world map, no doubt. There are already some giant that is, you know, interested in seeing that we have something unique and the world of potential now to do something epic with this game. And it's just awesome to see so many of you guys experiencing that already, and you know, new and old coming together and having that experience and feeling. It's just awesome. With Mortal Lion to spend money on advertising, yes. Pretty much all advertising is paused for now until we are happy with the backend stuff we're working on. Then we reinitiate the marketing, release the game on the different platforms, and we will grow, you know, steady but slowly, hopefully. Could be in big steps also, but and hopefully we can handle those as good as possible. Is it possible to get 30 minutes notice before the service going down? Yeah, there is actually a server message, but could be that it's easily missed in the chat. So we may add a function where it comes a pop-up that is impossible to miss. We don't take down the servers just by click. There's a procedure for that. Yeah, domination, there's a few bugs that don't allow you to dominate some of the creatures. That will be fixed. And then the powerful creatures and function will be enabled with Beast Mastery. I was playing during the free time because queues were crazy. I haven't played since. Is my actual free month consumed already? No. We have paused everyone's free month because of the chaos we had on the release. So we will, when we are done with the backend stuff we need to do, we will announce that the free month is starting, and the date for that, obviously you will have the date then for when subscription will be required to continue play. So it's on hold for now. Blackjack is done. Can we just get it sooner? If Blackjack is done, can we just get it sooner? No, so the backend and whole system and gameplay for it is done, but not the user interface. You don't want to have normal cards and a bad user interface when playing it. We want to mold the mortal cards, right? Our style on it. And the guy that made the backend network for it, he also needs to be doing the link when the user interface is finished. That is quite quickly, but we do need to do the art as well first. How much for the sub? It's the traditional 14.90 or what it is now. You know, same rate as World of Warcraft, the monthly subscription fee. And we are looking at a regional based subscription fee. All right, guys. Should we do a stream raid today? What say you? What say you? Because yeah, I'm actually feeling quite tired. I usually don't feel that tired, but every now and then we take Bitcoin. I'm not sure about that. Let me see. Do I have any raid time that we wanna pass on? Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Yeah, quite a few streamers. Do we have votes? Do we have any new that I haven't passed on to that we wanna do the raid for? What do we say, guys? Raid MO2 streamer. Raid MO2 streamer. Yeah, of course. We're gonna raid a mortal player. The question is who? Dirty. Have we done a raid to him? He's also a very funny streamer that RP and Odin Seeds. I watched a few of his streams. I don't remember if I done a raid to him. I don't recall. Yeah, Squilly, he's also fishing. The master fisherman, really nice guy, really chill. I did a raid to him, or was it last time, I think? Previous raid, I think, was to Squirrely. But I don't remember if I done one to Dirty, have I? Yeah, Squirrely, he got the last raid. I tried to pass it around a little bit, you know, to help promoting them and make some awareness. Nightmare TV got faced. Have I done a raid to Dirty? I don't remember actually. Should we do Dirty? Mining house, or so it's pretty boring though. Alright. Dirty it is. Alright, I don't remember. I don't think I've done a raid to Dirty before, but I've seen some of his stream and he's quite entertaining when he's RPing and doing crazy stuff with his mates. So let's do Dirty today then. Let's get him, boys. Yeah, give him a whoop ass can, guys, when we raid him. And where do I have the red button there? Let's see, Dirty TV. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in today's stream. Congratulations to you lucky winners of the Logitech Mouse and the MO2 copy. And it's awesome to hear that it seems like most of you guys are happy with the roadmap so far, which is obviously awesome to hear as well. It's was quite a puzzle to get it, you know, where we need it to be to make it work. So yeah, thank you very much for all donations, subscription as well, and other questions and support. We really appreciate it, and I hope to see you on the next stream again. So yeah, thank you very much, and I will do a little raid here to Dirty. He's a really funny guy, so I hope you will enjoy that stream. And here we go. Have a very good night, and I will hopefully see you all guys next Thursday. All right, have a good night. Bye bye.